What is going on, everybody? It is the HHN Dog here, the leader of the pack, and welcome to the first Q&A video here on my channel. So just recently, I had put in my Instagram story that I may do a Q&A video soon here on the channel. Well, here it is. So, I got 3 questions from Instagram. And then actually I've got 2 questions from Twitter. So 5 questions. I said if I were to do a Q&A video, I would at least want 5 questions, and I got 5 questions. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the 3 Instagram questions, and then I'm going to move on to the Twitter questions. So first question comes from Scott at Dyslexic96. He asks, if you could go back and experience any year of HHN past, what would it be? So, a little bit about my history with HHN. I have been going to the event in Orlando every single year since 2010, 20 Years of Fear. And every year, I have seen the event grow year after year and get scarier each year. And I have been to some memorable HHN events like 28, of course, 25, 26, 24, 23, 21. 22 was okay. 22, that's the year it only had 7 houses. 22 was okay. And of course, 20 Years of Fear. So my answer would be HHN 20. And I only went through one haunted house that year, and that was Legendary Truth, the Wyandotte Estate. I would definitely go back to experience that year so I can experience the other houses like Psycho Scarapy, Echoes of Shady Brook, Havoc, Dogs of War, the Hollowed Past, and then there was another house. Was there another house? Oh, Orphanage, Ashes to Ashes, which was in the Jaws queue. Yeah, it's been that long. So, HHN 20 would be my answer, Scott. HHN 20. Alright, so next question comes from Corey at Daily Theme Park Photos. He asks, would you have Six Flags Over Georgia get a new coaster if it meant the end of the Mindbender? So, just like Luke, I love roller coasters. And Mindbender at Six Flags is one of the coolest is one of the most fun coasters I've ever been on. It's technically themed after the Riddler because at the front entrance there's a big question mark on the sign of the ride. So yes, it's themed after the Riddler. And a little history lesson, it's been at the park since the 70s, I would say. Yes, it's been there since the 70s. And it's still a fun ride. So, yes and no. Yes, because maybe they could take it out and put something new in, but I don't know what. Because there's already a Joker coaster. We actually have 2 Joker rides at Six Flags. There's the Joker's Chaos Coaster, which is a Larson 360 loop coaster, and then there's a Joker Funhouse coaster, which is over in the DC Super Friends area. So yes and no on the Mindbender. And no, of course, because I love the Mindbender and I don't want them to get rid of it. It does need a, well, they could repaint it, make it a little bit more green, make it a brighter green. I don't know. Yes and no is my answer, Corey. Alright, last question on Instagram comes from Children of the Night Podcast. They ask, what maze would you die to see at HHN? That is a real good question, as Scott's and Corey's questions were also great. What maze would I die to see at HHN? Let me look at my small, pitiful little collection of horror movies. The original Alien comes to mind, from Ridley Scott, 1979. That comes to mind. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. That's another one. House of a Thousand Corpses. 13 Ghosts. The one with Matthew Lillard. I think that's a remake. I'm pretty sure that one's a remake. The one with Matthew Lillard in it. I'm not sure. But yeah, 13 Ghosts. Let me look over here. Maybe a house based on Psycho, because in 2006 they did have a house based on Psycho in 2006. The original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The People Under the Stairs. Even though that was already a house at HHN, I'd love to see that as a house. I don't know. I have no idea. But the original Alien would be my answer. Okay, so now moving on to the questions on Twitter. Find them here. Okay. First question from Twitter comes from Luke Skywalker at Birdwick Luke. He asks, #1 house you'd like to see come to the event? Easy. The property I just said, the original Alien. Can't think of any more. I mean, they could possibly do the original Friday the 13th instead of Jason and being in the maze, Mrs. Voorhees. They could do that, but I don't know. I don't know. So, the original Alien. Last question comes from Brittany at Brit A Hart. She asks, which HHN Orlando year is your favorite and why? Hands down, HHN 28, this most recent year. Why? Because of the list of houses, the scare zones, and the overall theme of the event. Stranger Things, Poltergeist, Trick or Treat, Horrors of Blumhouse, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Revenge of Chucky. Everything about HHN 28 was awesome. That's the easiest way I can put it. HHN 28, my favorite year, and that's why. Just everything, the mazes, the scare zones, to the overall theme of the event was awesome. HHN 28, hands down. So, that concludes... Sorry if I breezed through the Q&A. So thank you everyone so much for asking your questions. If you want to see another Q&A video, make sure to leave your questions down in the comments section down below, or use the hashtag AskHHNDog on Twitter or Instagram. So thank you everyone so much for watching this, and until the next video, everybody, I will see you all in the doghouse.